Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning into these videos. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about prophecy and how what's happening in the news over there in Colorado and over there in the Middle East pertains to prophecy. All these things were spoken about before in the scriptures, and we're seeing them. We're measuring the times diligently to it's letting us know that Yahweh Shai's return is near. It's nearer than we believed, and the Lord's words are not being prolonged anymore. So I'm going to start in Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And we're seeing that right now. The prophets have risen up early to speak the damnation of this country, which is known as Babylon the Great, and the salvation of the elect of the nation of Israel. Right now, the elect is being sealed by these words, because these words, when we're speaking about doom and gloom and the destruction of this place, that's music to our ears. That's where we get comfort, because when we hear those words, we are hearing Yahweh Shai and his prophecies and what that means for the nation of Israel, because we know that after Esau's rulership is going to be the nation of Israel's rulership, and we're going to be established as the righteous rulers of the world. So we want these things to happen. That's why we're galvanized to become watchmen. We are always watching the news to see these things that are happening here and there, and we can correlate that through the scriptures. That's part of being a watchman. We're measuring the times. This is in 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Verse 2, it says, Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And I'm going to continue on from verse 3 also. It says, Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And he is declaring the end from the beginning. All these things that are happening right now was spoken about in the scriptures, and that should boost up your faith, because you being a watchman, you're seeing these things, even from the apostles' point of view, from Great Millstone and the elders on down who have been doing this for years. They were seeing things happen, but the end was not yet. But now, in today's time, we're seeing these prophecies happen back to back. We're seeing the uproars of the people and the wars and rumors of wars increase. Also, those earthquakes. We know that our salvation is nearer than we believe. And so, right now, I Googled the situation that was happening over there in Colorado, Aurora. There's a lot of break-ins that are happening. And I actually Googled it twice because I wanted to find a specific video. But in this one, you see that this happened a month ago, in May and July. 2 weeks ago, it's back-to-back B&Es over there in Aurora, Colorado. Colorado Springs armed teen break-ins. Colorado Springs resident upset after a string of break-ins. 40 cars were damaged. The list goes on, because if you have been keeping up with the news, you know that this place is rigged to blow. They're letting the migrants come into this country illegally, and all they're doing is doing nothing but wickedness, just raising hell. And all these things were spoken about, because these things are going to lead to the Esau Edom forcing his hand as the president or the governors to start locking things down. It's going to become a police state because of all the civil unrest that's happening. And to the people, the common people who are working, they're not making enough money. So what little that they're being stolen from is going to bring them to the point of the breaking point, and that they're going to become martyrs themselves because of the lack of bread that's out here. I'm not gonna play it, but this video right here, it happened yesterday. This video right here, you see this Edomite lady, and she's locking her apartment doors. Let me see if I can click this one right here. I'm just gonna play it on mute.
Barbecue grill.
We got this ad.
Food, water.
A machete. I have a bowling ball.
All right, everyone. Welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. We'll take a look at this really disturbing video. It has been making the rounds, going viral. This is out in Aurora, Colorado, and it's one that is making headlines, of course, all over the country, where the mayor of Aurora says Venezuelan gangs are overrunning apartment buildings there as part of an organized criminal effort. Local police have called the incidents isolated, but surveillance video from at least one of the complexes is very startling, as you can see from this video right here. Now, we want to go on for more on this story about what's happening in Aurora. We're joined by Fox News.
They're literally
their applications, sponsors using fraudulent identities, including dead people, and traffickers demanding payment from those they sponsored.
they're literally
These 8 members, if you will, HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. So I think that's going to draw things out a little bit. I think eventually they're going to get in there and identified the troublemakers or the gang members, if you will. But again, we have nowhere to send them. I mean, we can put them in ICE custody for a period of time, but Venezuela's not taking people back. We don't have any diplomatic relations with Maduro at all. So it's a conundrum, right? And that's why they're acting with such impunity. Back to you.
And lastly,
Yeah, so you can see it right here. they're really just storming into these houses with
Operating
rifles.
with ICE or DEA or HSI, Homeland.
And there's nothing that, like, as this guy, the news article, the newscaster was saying, that they can't send them anywhere. They're literally not able to turn back these plagues. And this is one of those plagues that was spoken about in 2 Ezra 15, because of all the wickedness that Esau Edom has done, and that now it's going to hurt him back because of all the stuff that he's done to the nation and to the earth. And these plagues right here, they're not going to turn back. Everything that he's doing is basically not working, not helping. It's only making it worse. So I'm going to read this here in 2 Ezra 15, verse 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power." So right now we're seeing that sedition among men. Right now it's just here and there in various countries and states, but it's going to increase. It's going to increase to the point where Esau Edom is going to have to do something and mandate certain things. He's going to start making checkpoints in the area, making it harder for you as a regular American citizen who has to go to work to get money and get bread to feed their families. It's going to get a lot harder for you to do that because of this sedition. And they're going to be invading one another, and they're not going to care what the presidents or the mayors, governors have to say about it, because ultimately they can't do anything about it. And this was literally a spirit sent from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to disrupt this country. So in verse 17 it says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." So like I was saying, it's going to be very difficult. It's already difficult to go into the city, but it's going to get even more difficult basically as time progresses, because we're just getting closer to Yahushai's return. These prophecies are just going to increase in magnitude. And in verse 19 it says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's why when we're speaking these words, we're comforting us of the hopeful elect to trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, lean not upon your own ways, and have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that all these things must come to pass. You should be worried about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and his word and doing this work so that you're protected from these scourges, because these scourges are for the wicked of our nation and for the nation of Babylon. We're prophesying against Mount Seir. All right, so I'm going to read this here in Matthew 24, and I'm going to start at verse 5, but the pretext to this is that the disciples at the time were asking Yahushua when he was going to establish the kingdom and he was going to do all these things. And Yahushua answered them that he said all these things must come to pass before the end. So I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdoms against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrow. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And that's what's going to happen. There's going to be a whole bunch of plagues hitting this place. And what Yahushua was saying here, also wars and rumors of wars, because as that's happening here in this country, over there in Colorado, this happened a few days ago over there in the Middle East. This article says that a U.S. Navy carrier strike group and a few other warships fired 1.16 billion in weapons battling the Houthis in the Red Sea. And there was another article, it says that all these Navy ships, it hasn't been a time in history where the U.S. Navy has been drawn closer to the Middle East, because they're all over there getting ready for that final battle, the battle that was spoken about in the scriptures, prophecy. And these words aren't being prolonged anymore. They're actually happening now. And I'm not going to read the article because you pretty much get the point. And this is in Joel 3, I'll start at verse 1. It says, For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, the Lord's judgment, and will plead with them for people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return you recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. And the main pleasant thing that they took from the Lord was the nation of Israel. It was Esau, Edom who did it, but all these heathens were in cahoots. They partook in that, the separating of us, putting us all throughout the four corners of the earth and putting us in hardcore bondage. And so that's why the valley of Yehoshaphat, the indignation of the Lord, is to gather all these nations so that he could judge them all in one fell swoop. I'm going to jump down to verse 9 just to get to the point of it. It says, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And right here in verse 10 it says, Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. It represents that all these nations are using their resources for agriculture or whatever, the money that they have, they're putting that all into war. Like I just saw that article the Navy ships spent $1 billion just to shoot missiles. That money could go elsewhere, but right now it's going towards prophecy. All right, so I'm gonna read these last precepts, because as I'm ringing the bells and sounding the alarm, waking up the nation of Israel by blowing this trumpet in Zion, the message also is for comfort for the elect of the nation of Israel, those who have ears to hear and want to be delivered out of these things. I'm going to read this in Jeremiah 51, verse 5. It says, "For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity." So when we're saying these things, we're also saying, like Isaiah 55 and 6, seeking the Lord right now and calling upon him. And basically, let the wicked forsake his ways. We have to trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua so that we are found worthy to be delivered out of this destruction. Because we're going to be delivered out of the midst of, as all hell is breaking loose, the chariots are going to be beaming up the elect of the nation of Israel for standing stiffly for his name and being a watchman right now in the times that a watchman is needed. So from verse 6 again, it says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." And this is in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1. "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief." Being in this ministry now, you're cleansed and baptized by this word. You're born again. So now you're not cut in Babylon's iniquities. You should know very well that our salvation is nearer than we believe. You brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Because as all these things are happening, these thieves are coming into people's houses. That is how Yahushua is going to come and destroy this place and also deliver his elect. It's going to those people who are not in this truth, it's going to be just like that. Yahushua coming in as a thief in the night. But to us of the hopeful elect who have heard the warning, who are seeking Yahushua now while he may be found, he's not going to come to us as a thief because we're expecting him. This is in 2 Peter 3 and 10. "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up." Actually, I was going to get another precept here. In verse 11, it says, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." Because the final plague is that this place is going to be hit with all those thermonuclear missiles. All right, so in verse 13, "Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless, and account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given unto him, hath written unto you." And so we want to be diligent to make our calling and election sure, so that we're not caught in Babylon's iniquity. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Shalom Akim.